So,
this way more.
Well, yeah,
a little more closer to everyone.
God, thank you, producer.
Well, so much
just common sense.
Oh, dude, a mushroom.
You know what? The common sense stuff.
Psilocybin?
I'm hoping.
Oh fuck, let me know, bro. I'm gonna be so jealous if it is.
What if it was?
That'd be fucked up. The one mushroom on the pizza is psilocybin.
I just start tripping. You guys are like, "What's up with him?" I'm just like.
Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of Dirty Mike and the Boys. I got the usual assholes here.
What up?
Yeah, that's Hold on, let me see if I remember them all. Trash Panda.
Yeah.
Followed by Black Cherry. I'll save my beautiful name for last. Followed by White Possum. I didn't know it was spelled that way, by the way. That's how illiterate I am. I was like, what? Who said white opium? I read that real quickly. I
white opium.
I sounded stupid. I knew it was wrong. I was like, that's so stupid. I know that's not it, but I just saw that real quickly.
It's okay, baby oil.
Yeah, I was hoping that. Notice how I was guiding the. I was like, oh, how convenient. There's a story that.
It's okay, baby oil.
All right, baby oil in. Dude, you know what's funny? I'm gonna make a character in a new game. I'm just gonna name Baby Oil and send it to you guys. Just be like, all right, I'll play Saints Row all over again. I'll be Baby Oil.
Like even when he goes, like if he gets caught and goes to jail, they can't hold him because he just
slips
in the bars.
I'm gonna take a quick photo. Just want to be like, okay, you guys. Just when you get handcuffed. So we're gonna.
You want some?
Shut up, you fucking addict. Hell no. Fuck that shit. I know I was really tired.
You're just like plump and like not ripped.
Plump?
He's grabbing his cheeks.
Only one? Go for it, man.
I want to get headaches.
What an old man.
Hold on, first of all, you couldn't even handle.
Hold on, Robin.
Yeah.
You were throwing up.
Hey, it's okay. I acknowledge that I am a preteen boy when it comes to that shit. I can't handle anything. I'm like, oh, I just had a sip of beer. I need to go home.
It's okay, don't feel bad. A friend of mine, we were bowling
terrible.
and he put one in. I peer pressured him. Dude, he went to the bathroom and threw up. So at least you didn't actually throw up.
If it weren't for your cushion-ass mat, I swear to God, I was like, you know what? This is so comfortable, and I'm so fucked up that I was like, I forgot that I was right in front of the toilet. I had my eyes closed. I was just like, dude,
times I've slept on that mat.
Oh yeah. I dropped him off one day. We had his McDonald's left in my car. I'm carrying him up here. We were just actually around the corner.
So it must have been easy to carry somebody.
I think I got drunk that night. There's no way I got that drunk.
No, he drank a bunch of vodka Red Bulls all night.
Oh shit!
And you can never tell when Deion's fucked up. For the most part, Deion actually holds his liquor pretty well, but he was fucked. He couldn't even walk straight.
Until he got home. And then
so we went to get McDonald's because me and Colin wanted to get some McDonald's. We got him some shit, left it in my back seat, carried his ass all the way up here, put him in that bathroom, and that's where he slept. I was like, come on, bro. He's like, no, I'm good here. Sit me here. I'm like, you sure? Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to ruin the
You know what's funny?
furniture.
I would have done the exact same thing. He was like, you sure? Yeah, bye. Not even hesitate. He's like,
well, the toilet was there, so I'm like, he's fine.
I'm gonna be like this.
I rolled him on his side.
The only thing that sucks
I
when you pass out like that in the bathroom is you wake up and you are so cold.
Oh yeah.
Because the tile floor, you have no blanket, you're like, you wake up, you're like, fuck.
I mean, I wouldn't have that.
Thirsty.
Oh shit! He was like, man,
just drink out of the toilet.
I was gonna say, it's like first thing he does, like
the sink didn't even give you enough water. I just turned the bathtub on, and it was just like where it's just like out the spout. And I was like,
drunk ass got his all wet, his whole clothes wet.
I didn't even care,
dude.
I remember I woke up in a laundry room, or my laundry room, and I was like, whose house am I in? Like I've never
wake up in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never been that fucked up. No. I've only been blacked out drunk twice in my life, but like not to the point where I've slept on like the bathroom floor or like the laundry. Mine was just more like maybe on my floor.
Well, the bathroom floor is like level 4 or 5. Yeah, that's not like super fucked up yet. When I was in the Dells, then I was fucked up. I fell asleep in the parking lot.
Ooh, that's
outside the car. And St. Patrick's Day with my dad.
When you run into
the 2
the
drunkest
real
times I've ever been.
Dude, my cousin was super dumb. He's like, why didn't you guys change the name to something else? None of you guys' name is Mike. I was like, I laughed because I was like, all right. I wonder how many other people are gonna make that mistake. I laughed at that one because I was like, yeah, we thought more into it, but I was like, yeah, it was funny. I was like, Dirty Mike.
If they don't get it, they don't deserve to listen.
Exactly. Fuck.
They were entertained. That's fine. Were you not entertained? He came back. He came over to me at we were at work together, and I just like sent to him right away. I was like, I don't know if they sent it to anybody, so let me just fucking send it to them. So I just sent it, and he's like, all right, I listened to it. And he's like, I'm listening to it right now. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Went to my desk, and afterwards he's like, hey, baby oil.
I was like, fuck. I just want it to like blow up a little bit so that people close to me are like, oh, Trash Panda. Like, they just call me by my podcast name, not my actual name.
We're gonna make a profile on each of our consoles when we get one day. That's called Trash Panda, and Dion's never gonna play it. But if he ever comes over to play the game, that's his profile.
Yeah.
He's like, we're gonna play Halo local, and then it's gonna be like, all right, log into Trash Panda.
If we ever make like a social media page, I'm doing like a person profile for each. Like,
I'm commissioning Daron for a work of drawing you as a Trash Panda.
I can do that.
Do it.
Absolutely.
Do it, man. I'll frame that motherfucker.
Do it. That'll be on the videos. That'll be like Dirty Mike and the Trash Panda.
Gotta draw pictures for all of us. We could put them up in the background.
I do not
right
want...
field.
Hold on. I'm immediately regretting this idea because my name is Baby Oil. That's what I said. I was like, I'm immediately...
You gotta draw up like...
Can I
the oil dripping
baby.
You know what I'll do?
What?
It's gonna be him in the corner with the video games and the oil
Oh,
just dripping
that's
from
right.
Christian's hands.
Or
like
you could be like a furry character with the oil in your hand.
No, you know what you gotta do? You gotta draw me with you gotta draw me on the computer with the mic pointing at you guys. I'm the only one in Baby Oil just like, alright, you guys are on.
Laptop all loose.
You know? Just draw me like a
The
lotion puddle around me, just like
my
back in order. I was like, oh, that's bad.
I don't think I feel comfortable doing that.
Oh no, I ruined the idea. Oh shit, I guess we'll never see what didn't happen. Next idea.
Boxing versus MMA.
Oh yeah, there was a Watch Mojo video. I brought up this topic. I thought it was interesting. I didn't care at first, but they were just comparing, I guess, who would win in their Watch Mojo categories of boxing or MMA. Not saying which sport is actually better, just their categories. And I just wanted to know what they thought right away. So, Trash Panda and Black Cherry, Dion Pascual, they thought... What'd you guys think?
Boxing.
Boxing, man.
Me and Daron, or White Opium,
Yeah.
thought MMA. What I found interesting is me and Daron don't watch MMA like that. These two watch MMA like just whisper the word and they won't shut up. Like I was just going to the bathroom like, MMA. He's like, oh dude, so McGregor is like talking all that, like it's just something.
If we ever say anything about McGregor, we're not saying it like that. Or he's going, it's red panty night.
I don't give a...
As you can clearly tell, I don't watch MMA like that. But I thought that was funny how the two people who don't watch it guessed MMA.
the
Two
wrong
people who
answer.
actually watch it guessed boxing. And I thought that was fascinating. But why is boxing better? And
It's not even better. No,
as far as why did you think it won this?
Well, okay,
competition?
I didn't watch the video, but I'm assuming what it was.
Because you were actually on point. A
Yeah,
lot of that.
what I'm assuming is that the video was just saying like, okay, what's the sport that probably like you'd be like, if it came down to it, just a one-on-one, like,
Can I get
like
one?
who would, like, who's most likely to like be successful in a fight, and if you're comparing MMA and boxing,
Oh, it's not that. That's why.
I don't even know how you would compare those, but I guess
They were just doing categories like
Yeah.
historical knockouts, like certain stuff, and they just made their own category. Like I said, it was a competition about themselves. But you were on point as far as like both saying it's more of a precision. You have to worry about your footwork and that.
If you're talking about what's more effective, like what's more, fuck, I don't even know.
You don't know the category, so that's all. I was interested on knowing what you don't know. They based this this on. What you thought. That's what I want to know immediately.
My thing is like if it came to like I guess I don't even want to say
it won enough categories that it won by one.
Yeah. Well,
So
I guess
like,
what like you think like they maybe what's more effective or like what's quicker. I don't even want to use the word
think
quicker, easier to learn, but it's like the one that if you want to learn. I don't know. Let's put it this way. In boxing, there's multiple things you gotta know. I mean, you gotta know footwork, distance control.
They said
how to
all that
fight,
shit.
orthodox, southpaw. I mean, there's way more to it than that. It's a sweet science. You know, offense and defense have the ways you gotta take angles to actually like avoid a punch while being in a position to counter.
It's kind of art.
And MMA, it's a lot of shit. Yeah, it's a sweet
describe it as
science. That's what it's called. Yeah, exactly. But with MMA, you gotta focus on like 800 different things because if you come in as just a pure boxer, you're not gonna know shit about takedowns. You're gonna get your leg kicked.
You're gonna get
your leg
exposed.
broken. And I was like, because you don't know how to defend a leg kick.
Yeah, because boxers just cover their body and head.
Yeah,
like
so you're gonna get fucked up
Yeah.
because, well, it's not even that. Not even the leg kicks. That's already a huge disadvantage for a boxer. Like, if they're a boxer, or like, let's say a pure wrestler. If you're a pure wrestler, like Ben Askren, like I don't know if you guys know that he's from Wisconsin. He's in the UFC. He was in
one.
This part of the segment's for the UFC listeners.
Well, yeah, okay. If you don't know Ben Askren he trains at Rufus Sport. He used to fight for ONE FC. He was a champion there for a long time, undefeated, never lost, retired. Then he came to the UFC. He did it before because him and Dana White, the president of the UFC, had beef and shit. But he signed him over and
traded.
He traded for Demetrius Johnson and.
That was it. It was straight.
No,
up
just
DJ
Demetrius
for
Johnson.
Ben
That's right. I'm just thinking of.
I'll get to it,
but he signed over. Yeah, but anyways, okay. The point is, yeah, that's who Ben Askren is. He's the dude who Jorge Masvidal knocked out in 5 seconds. You know that shit. You probably know that. But so, anyways, Ben Askren's a pure wrestler. Pure boxer.
Jesus.
No, he's not. Pure wrestler. He's just trying to take you down. He has no, next to no
stand-up game.
From a professional fighter standpoint, he has no stand-up game. He has no stand-up defense. He doesn't know how to avoid. He takes hits just to get close to you so he can take you to the ground. Right?
Oh, yeah.
But when you fight someone who's a really fucking good striker,
You
can't even get close to him.
So he has the mentality of a grappler. Unfortunately, in a sport that can offer strikes and defense.
It's not even that because if the pure wrestler is fighting a pure striker who has no idea how to defend takedowns, who knows who's going to win that fight? Every round starts on their feet. But the wrestler may be better at have good defense at striking defense and then take the guy down. Jorge Masvidal has really fucking good wrestling defense, for an example, and he knocked out Ben Askren. I mean, now there was no wrestling involved. He went for the takedown, went for the flying knee. So that's just what it was. But yeah.
So what I'm understanding is, if they were both playing a sport where the exact same knowledge would be applied, so say boxing, they're both doing boxing techniques. Boxing, MMA has. You can play karate versus jiu-jitsu. Just an example.
Yeah.
The karate guy is going to get his ass whooped because there's some things that the jiu-jitsu might do that the karate guy is entirely trained for because he's normally fighting other karate guys in his specific sport.
Yeah, he's fighting that beer burp down.
Sorry, sorry about that. It was like a citrusy ass soda. I was like,
I'm gonna second what you said and what Pasquale was saying, but with boxing, from a pure sport, just watching a sport, I actually prefer to watch boxing over MMA. But my MMA fandom, a lot of that has to do. I think that today now MMA is more entertaining. You have more guys that talk a lot of shit. You got a lot of build up. Boxing kind of there's still that aspect, but it kind of lost that.
Do you want to know what Watch Mojo mentioned about that too specifically? And I thought it was interesting. In boxing, the reason it doesn't feel that way is because they spend more money to promote the fighters. Where in UFC, what they said is they brought this point up that they leave that to the fighters to promote themselves. So it's not always the champion. Like everyone knows, Manny Pacquiao. What is
Deontay Wilder,
Mayweather, all those classic ones. But not a lot of them just immediately talk shit. They were just being promoted by the companies who hosted the fights. Yeah. MMA, McGregor is popular.
Self-made, man.
He's self-made, but the thing is, just because he's the loudest guy doesn't mean he's the greatest. Because McGregor, apparently, and he was the example, lost a couple of his main events fights. So it's not like Mayweather, who that motherfucker's undefeated. Yeah. So it's still his accomplishments is speaking for himself, and they're promoting him better. Dana White or the UFC isn't doing that. So essentially, people who get the most showtime isn't always the most skilled guys.
Yeah, it has to be exciting.
That's why Watch Mojo brought that up, and I was like, that is interesting because I didn't fucking...
Yeah, but McGregor... okay, let's be right. The real original shit talk was Chael Sonnen.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's leave it. This guy got popular recently, so your guy may have existed, but apparently I didn't. No. I didn't know it. I didn't know who the fuck that guy is.
But Connor's mental warfare is second to none.
Yeah, he punched an old guy in the face.
Well, no, that's not.
That old guy ate it though, man.
Hell yeah, he did.
He took that shit like a champ.
No, he could.
You know what? That really pissed me off. I thought that was cool.
So it should be.
Hey, at least McGregor had no choice but to apologize.
What was the story behind that?
He just fucking showed up.
So he was at the bar, you know his whiskey, the proper 12 shit.
Yeah, yep.
He was like, he came in there, being fucking Connor.
He was throwing himself everywhere. He's like, I'm the shit.
He was like,
my piss is gold.
Yeah, but not only that, he came and said, fucking free shots for everyone, proper 12. So I was pouring the guy, just like, nah, I'm good. Saying like that.
Oh,
and then Connor took his step back and put it back in front of him, moved again, and he punched him. Yeah.
Damn.
I'm like, damn, bro. Come on.
You wouldn't try
that is one of those things you just absolutely don't want to be caught on camera.
Connor does knows candy though, so.
Oh yeah, he's doing all the cocaine, or he was at least.
Oh yeah, to be honest,
he's a lightweight John Jones, bro.
The only reason I think he can do that is because, the only reason I think he is doing that, and I don't watch MMA, is because I remember the time when he retired for a minute, and I was like, all right, and then he just hopped right back, not too long after. So I'm like, there's something up with this guy's head that I'm only getting
Oh, he was poor as fuck, and then he got rich as fuck really fast.
That's what I said. And then he also got
people
to,
can't
like, he
handle
wasn't.
wealth very well.
I already knew that there was something up with him mentally.
Well, if you're
Just
getting into
because
that
that
sport,
type of shit.
those
No,
people are
that's
mental anyways.
that's no all that shit he does. Besides Habib, he hates him. I think at least
It's an act.
it's all an act because he shows respect to everyone he beats. He
Yep.
he does all for business. He knew. He's like, listen, if you want to make. He's like, first of all, this is a dangerous fucking sport. Any boxing, MMA, it's all dangerous. You get CTE and shit. Fuck that, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm gonna get in, make as much money as I can as fast as possible, and then get the fuck out. You know how I'm gonna do that by talking plenty of shit and beating people's asses. And
That's what
Yeah.
Joe Rogan tells people. He's
Yeah.
like, if you're
That's
not
what-
fully committed into it,
Yeah.
he's like, I tell people just to stay away.
He did a Brendan Schaub. You
Yeah.
seen that video? That shit's
Yeah.
fucked
No,
up.
I didn't
that's-
see that.
Don't watch that
Oh,
shit.
that's fucked up. I forgot about your video you sent me, the Joe Rogan one. I meant to click on it the next day. I just didn't, and then we kept
Which
messaging.
one?
Oh,
Oh,
the
the Kevin Smith
Yeah,
one.
you sent me one. I was like,
I
fuck.
gotta
He reminds me of Christian when he's on
Kevin
there.
Smith, yeah.
He's super
little
cool.
bit.
He's the guy from.
It's a good thing.
I know exactly who he is. That's why I laughed. I was like, you bitches.
I like him.
I know.
That wasn't a diss. Yeah, there was like certain things that.
Yeah, Not you, like the whole he knows a lot about comic books and
Yeah.
shit.
Lewis,
Anime.
Exactly,
I don't know
yeah.
about anime, but
you know what?
And then he
Oh,
gets
yeah.
when Joe Rogan says something, he goes, "Ooh," and you do that shit all the time.
What is it? You know what? It's been my podcast. There's a YouTube channel that just does like comic book stories. He just narrates them. He's like, oh, and then the Joker went like, or just, like he just does it, and you have the panels. If you just listen to the stories, holy shit, all this stuff.
He
sounds-
does those?
Yeah, there's a guy
it's
called
cool as
Comic
fuck.
Historian.
Oh, okay. I thought you
so
said Kevin
do you
Smith
know?
does that.
No,
Oh,
not Kevin
yeah.
Smith.
I was like,
He
okay.
might.
Kevin Smith sells weed.
Oh,
This is smells. I was like, what?
He smells weed.
Damn, how good was that interview? He was like, he smells like coconut oil.
Smells like
He was promoting it
Smells
hard
like
though.
Smells
No,
like
Chance he
purple.
could get.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah. They always gotta put their plug, otherwise they can't make money outside of movies.
Exactly.
I get it, dude. Jack Black has a YouTube channel, and it's already got 4 million subscribers. I'm pretty sure he's got like maybe 100 videos,
Yeah.
and he just started this week. But he had Tony Hawk over there at his house, and I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
That's what's
and
up.
he's talking about retiring right now, so he can spend more time with his kids and work on a new album for Tenacious D. And I was like, I support this 100%.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I was like, I
Tenacious
haven't
D
watched
shit.
one of your movies in forever, Jumanji included. Unfortunately, I'm not saying it's bad. I haven't watched it, so it's not like I'm missing you at the theaters.
Yeah, I feel
So
you.
I'm like, give me another Tenacious D.
Watch Jumanji though. It's actually not bad.
No,
The first one?
Yeah.
The first one's
No, no,
super
no, no,
funny.
no,
I was
I
mad
meant-
as
I
fuck.
meant
I was
the-
like, bro,
I meant
like,
the
don't
Rock
be
one.
remaking this
Yeah.
big ass. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
There's
Yeah.
two of them.
I
Really?
saw
Yeah, well,
3/4
it's
of it. I
The
had
new
to
one?
leave. Yeah, I had to leave, so I didn't finish it. And I never went back to
It's a
finish
good
it.
movie though. I
First
thought it was
one's
alright.
funny.
I
I
mean,
stopped
it's not-
before Joe
It's not a
Jonas.
fucking masterpiece.
No,
but
no,
it's
no,
good.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
Jumanji. I know
For a
Jumanji.
remake, yeah.
For real, hell yeah, it was.
Goosebumps was
You know-
actually a pretty good movie.
See, I
And then I
watched
had Jack Black. I watched it and I was like, this is gonna be
You know
stupid.
why I don't watch it though? Is because I watch the Goosebumps now, like the old shit that used to come on TV because on Netflix, and that shit sucks, bro.
You want me
Does
to-
it? I know, I've
And
never
that thing
seen
is so
Let me-
fucking bad.
Let me tell you
It's just
how
like-
better this one is with Jack Black in it. The premise is R.L. Stein is Jack Black.
Okay.
It's a story about him, like a quality of like that.
Oh.
So it's,
Oh,
so
does
it's
it
better
narrate it?
acting.
Their
and
own
I'm just-
kind of, like,
yeah, it's a
little-
unique premise.
See, like that's what
All-
Jumanji guy did too. That's why I
Yeah,
liked it.
all
Okay, cool.
all his stories started coming to life. So it was fully aware. He's like, dude, I wrote these to be scary for kids. Like I'm making profits on it. And all of a
Yeah,
sudden
yeah.
it's coming to life. So I'm like, all right, that was
That's
a good.
cool.
Because the other ones, I know what you're talking about. I was like, dude, I'm not watching this shit. I'll show him.
Yeah.
I'm watching with my nephew, and I'll be like, I guess we'll watch another episode. I mean, like,
Remakes. Yeah. I don't
no,
like
that
for
was
the most
that was a
part.
good one.
But that's not
I
bad.
admit it.
When it's a remake and they do their own original kind of take on it, that's when I like it. Like, sorry, these Disney remakes.
Yeah.
The Lion
That's
King.
cash.
Lion
That's
King
cash.
is
I haven't
my
seen that
Lion
one.
King is my favorite Disney movie of all time. It's
Still
just,
is.
I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's just amazing. I fucking love it. I mean, maybe some people would disagree. Whatever.
Nope.
Everyone's got their own taste.
Yeah.
But
haven't
anyways,
seen it,
Those
so-
tastes are wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Right? It's your opinion. Your opinion's fucking wrong. Yeah. That's
Damn.
that's
You
what it
heard,
is.
you heard it from Black Cherry.
I think
right?
at the end of the day, though, you can't recreate those ones.
Well,
you know,
that's what I'm
they
saying.
hold too much
No, hold on,
memory.
that's
That's not true.
Here's
You
my
can.
point though.
You can.
Lion King was literally just a shot-for-shot remake
Yeah.
of the original,
Yeah.
and it was awful because all the facial expressions that you can make with the cartoon animal and all the fanfare and shit, like, yo, I just can't wait. You know,
Yeah.
that whole scene is
Yeah.
fucking crazy, right? You can't do that with CGI animals that even try to make them look realistic. It
Yeah,
looks
exactly.
stupid.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. And there was no energy in the voice acting, and it was all just boring. It was just, I thought it was stupid. But here's the thing. Aladdin. Everyone fucking praises Lion King for some reason, though. Like, I don't know why. I was like, dude, this movie...
I like Aladdin. Aladdin was.
I watched-
it was like
So
not
I
the
watched
best.
the
but it's
I
like-
watched the remake of Aladdin. For the first 5 minutes, I thought were fucking terrible. I
Yeah.
couldn't get into it with Will Smith starting to sing. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. Just
Yeah.
that open
You were
scene.
like, this is
just
how it's
don't
gonna be.
open with that scene. But it's like, whatever. I was like,
I
all right,
never saw
whatever.
that.
Yeah,
I
but
should-
yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, it's just like spoiler alert. Sorry, if you haven't seen Aladdin, I'll tell you.
No, I've been waiting.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't
I'm
think
kidding,
anyone's
I'm
fucking
kidding.
Yeah, you should.
chomping at the bit listening to us like, oh shit, don't spoil Aladdin for me.
I'm kidding.
But anyways, so yeah, but then as the movie went on, it got better because it had its own original story.
Yeah.
It wasn't the exact same Aladdin movie. So I was like, okay, I kind of like this. Some shit I still didn't like because the scene that they did try to recreate, they still kind of fucked it up, and I was like, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when they go into the fucking the cave.
Oh yeah.
Like it wasn't as
Yeah.
cool as the fucking original movie. But and I didn't like Abu because Abu is hilarious when he makes stupid fucking faces and
That's what I
you know what I'm
said.
saying? Like all that.
Exact. That was actually one thing I didn't like.
Like Abu would spin around and turn into a fucking girl. I mean, that shit, like, work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was funny because you can do that with
Oh,
cartoon
that
shit.
was
Yeah,
hilarious.
you can't do that with
With
you know, yeah,
real
you know what I'm
life,
saying?
yeah.
But
That
yeah,
was funny.
I liked it more than I did Lion King. It wasn't the greatest movie in the world.
Yeah,
It's not a
I was
fucking masterpiece, but it was good.
I was
like,
told that, but that's how Disney's honestly. And the problem
They're
is,
just trying to make more money.
yeah, but the
Yeah.
problem is they
Yeah.
got a lot of money from it. That formula that you
Yeah.
fucking hate,
People are still gonna.
they paid for. Like, dude, it's kind of like why they kept making Transform. In my opinion, I thought the Michael Bay Transformer movies got from okay.
Yeah,
Like it just. I mean, I was like, I'm starting to accept less and less that this is decent. You're just kind of like,
Dude,
so it just started progressively getting
Dude,
worse.
Well, I don't.
But they kept making money.
That's
I don't
why-
remember which one was it, but when they had the fucking transformer with fucking testicles, that's
That
when I
was-
was like,
that
fuck
was
this.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
but, oh, it was the second
Yeah,
movie?
yeah, it was the second one.
That's why I was
forgot
so
about it.
happy. Like I remember at the time I was pissed that Christian Bale didn't want to do any more Batman movies, but like in hindsight, like
Oh, I
looking
thought you
back,
said
like,
I bailed. I was like,
Oh.
I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
wait.
so glad that they didn't make like he wanted to just go out while they were still.
Yeah, don't
You know,
So
they
it's
were-
like I didn't want to like overdo it and ruin it.
Did you see that they had originally planned to throw him a fourth movie?
Yeah,
But
they
Christian
offered
Bale
him a
just said
fourth
no.
one and he said
Yeah.
no.
It was good because I think Nolan wasn't going to be involved, which is
not only that, but like
he just thought it,
No,
even
Even
if
if
a good point
even if
to end.
The Dark
even if
Knight-
Nolan directed it, it would. I think if they'd have just kept making them, just like the Transformer movies.
yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, here we go
Yeah.
again. Like,
The thing is, like, yeah, if a fourth movie probably would have been, I don't know, it could have been good, but it probably would have been terrible because the Dark Knight Returns, that was the last one was called?
I felt like in the trilogy.
What was it?
Rises.
The Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
It's an okay movie.
It is.
It's not fucking terrible. It's good. It's not amazing. And Dark Knight
Oh, yeah.
is fucking phenomenal.
Bro, I was watching that.
So you were
literally
gonna
5
follow
minutes
that
ago.
up with a third and make it better no matter what. So why even do a fourth at that point?
What,
there was no chance that
originally,
the third
since
was going to be as good as the
No, the
second.
the third was supposed to be as good as the second because they were going to bring back the Joker. Because if you remember, in this old ass movie, Joker didn't die in Dark
Mhm.
Knight.
Yeah.
But obviously,
Well, yeah.
because the guy died immediately, like before the movie actually officially released, that's what sucked. Any plans of probably bringing him back, which would have been great, because they'd have probably just formulated him. Like honestly, they would have probably made the trilogy Batman. Batman meets his rival, and like puts him down and all that shit. But then now Batman has to settle it with the rival and probably some other shit.
Okay. You know,
The Joker. would be great.
you know how everyone hated Jared Leto's Joker?
Nah, I feel bad.
Now, what if they went with what you just said, but instead of like just saying like, nah, fuck it, we're just gonna leave it with 3 movies
Yeah.
because Heath Ledger died? What if they replaced Heath
No.
Ledger with Jared Leto? You know how much hate you would have gotten for that? Even more.
Well, yeah, but Jared
Fucking
Leto
hilarious.
Jared Leto hadn't been making a name too much for himself at that point. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
get super noticed before he got that Oscar before he got the Joker role. So he had to play that gay guy who got AIDS in that Dallas
Dallas
Buyers
Buyers
Club.
Club.
Yeah, so he got that's like
Brokeback Mountain he was in.
No,
that's Heath
was
Ledger.
Brokeback
That's Heath
Mountain.
Ledger.
Oh, they talk.
So-
Oh,
so, okay,
who's
oh,
talking
good
right? Who's
example.
talking right now?
Matthew
Jared
McConaughey.
Leto.
Oh, you're talking Matthew McConaughey. Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
Jared Leto. Jared Leto was the gay
Oh,
guy who got
Jared
AIDS.
Leto. Oh, man,
He got
okay,
an
I got
Oscar
you.
from that movie, and then after that, he got the role of Joker.
Gotcha.
So I guess he had gotten enough popularity, and it became kind of like, all right. He was doing 30 Seconds to Mars. I didn't even know that was him. So that's how. That's how.
Gay
this-
community club.
Gay
bro.
community club.
But point is, yeah, he got the role of Joker after he
You-
did sort of a
I'm
series.
so excited for what could be like coming for Batman though, because they casted Robert Pattinson as Batman and everyone
am
was
excited for
pissed.
this.
But you know what it is.
Huh.
So Michael Keaton said that he wants to reprise his role as Bruce Wayne.
He could actually.
So if
yeah.
he does, then Robert Pattinson would be Batman Beyond.
Oh, yeah,
That would be the next movies.
That's not happening.
I think it is.
The only reason I say that's not happening is they are too far into production of the Robert Pattinson one. Like they're
Yeah, but we
already
don't know
scheduled-
what it is.
No, that's the thing. It's going to be the original Batman.
Mm-mm. I think
I
it's
hope
going to be
not.
Batman Beyond.
The only thing is, it comes out. It's coming out in 2021, so that means they're spending next year.
These movies are taking forever to come
Well, that's the thing. They spend a year filming, and then they have at least 6. I feel like 6 or 7 months to edit it.
Right.
So by this point right now, it is way too late. Because if they were to change the idea from what they
but we don't know that he's Bruce Wayne.
What?
We don't know that Robert Pattinson is Bruce Wayne. They never announced that.
Yeah, he is.
They just said he's Batman. They never said he's playing Bruce Wayne.
It's true.
Not wrong on that, but Michael Keaton hasn't been assigned to the project, and he is. I guess if they suddenly
They asked him They asked him if he'd be interested in reprising the role as Bruce Wayne.
you're not wrong on that. If your theory turns out because Michael Keaton, I haven't heard anything about Michael Keaton coming back, so that's why I'm like, and I've been listening to the news on this shit a lot, and I was like, all right, if he does, it's a good theory.
Yeah.
But based on what I know that they've officially confirmed and everything from like, I watch comic book news about movies too. He hasn't been confirmed for this one. They have a casting already. It looks like Colin Farrell's going to play Penguin. They already have a Catwoman.
Who's playing
Like,
Catwoman?
Jason Momoa's stepdaughter.
I thought you were going to say Jason Momoa.
I know, like, fuck?
I sorry. Well, I had to lead to his name. I don't know her name.
That'd be the pinnacle of that shit, dude.
Catman.
Make Jason
Momoa is Catwoman. That's the thumbnail. If I was good at Photoshop, I'd thumbnail that as the face. But no, his stepdaughter is going to be Catwoman. So that's kind of why I'm like, I don't feel like it'd be Batman Beyond, because at this point they have to have the solid idea.
Tight suit.
Because if they're filming soon next year, that means they already have to have all the planning for the stunts. Somebody who's done the behind the scenes on videos know, like, you can't just change your mind last minute, because sets were already being paid to be built for this thing. If you tell them last minute, they gotta delay the movie by like another year.
Dude, fuck you, man. You just ruined all my excitement for 2021. Like, you just crushed my dream.
Bro, it's not gonna be Beyond.
2021. You know what movie I'm looking forward to? I think it's 2021 when it comes out.
Shazam 2?
No.
Oh, well, actually, Shazam 2 just got announced for 22, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you heard of that? Thor?
No.
Yeah,
Thor?
female
Oh,
Thor.
nice, yeah.
Yeah, Natalie Portman's coming back. She's playing Thor.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
Back to,
Hopefully.
the Transformers 2, right?
Yeah. Testicles.
Where's the testicles?
Okay, so do you remember the pyramid when they were like absorbing
Yep.
it? So at one point, they're like talking to one of the
Those
super Hispanic ass Transformers, like, or like the ghetto ass.
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
Those guys. So they're like, oh no, it was not them, but they were in that movie too. So it was like really
no, it
offensive.
was the dude that plays the spy. I forget
The
his
funny
name.
guy who got pissed on in the first movie by like oil. He was like,
yeah.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
was like, I'm under the scrotum.
The Transformers were like
wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
It just-
he was
I
walking
mean, that's
talking,
right there,
and they
bro.
literally had
they like the construction machines were the
Yeah.
Transformers. So like they had the two like balls. Like,
Oh!
yeah, and it was like
I did.
I'm under the robot's testicles. I was like,
And he's like, scrotum.
The scrotum.
Yeah, it was like, I'm under the scrotum.
So
So,
stupid.
I thought it was funny, but I realized how.
I was like, when I came out, so I thought it was funny. But I watched
Yep,
it.
I said that too.
Wait,
I'm
what?
watching it now. I can't.
This movie sucks.
Dude, I was watching GoldenEye on Amazon Prime, so I was rewatching it. I was like, dude, there's some shit in that movie that I no longer feel comfortable. James Bond is a dirtbag.
He's a dirtbag.
Dude,
Yeah.
he is the biggest womanizer, and I was like,
Yeah.
Who's the best James Bond though? To
right
you?
now, I don't,
Yeah.
I can't, wait, who?
Sean Connery.
The reason I can't say Sean Connery is mostly because his shit's hilarious at how offensive he is to women, but technically,
Fucking smacks him, doesn't
I
he?
know, it's because it was the time. That's when you could film it. Like
I
I
know.
said, it was like when you could slap secretaries on the ass and be like, hey, bitch, nice ass.
They got that joke on Family Guy about him being super rapey. Sean Connery.
I
James. Yes.
I
No, James.
Hey, what movie
Yeah.
was it where the boat was like
No,
a big
James.
ass sword?
I showed you.
It was like
Gosh.
these people that
Okay.
were like superheroes.
under what is it, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Yeah.
The movie that made Sean Connery
Dude, Sean
retire.
Connery was
Yeah,
so
movie.
fucking
I never
weird.
seen
You know what's
that movie,
funny?
but
I
You've never
enjoyed
seen
it.
that? No, I heard it was terrible. I was a kid.
Bro.
It was
Dude,
so
bro.
get the fuck
Watch
it
it.
was
It's a
different.
good bad movie.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
good-
a good
Like The
band,
Room?
yeah.
Never
The
saw
who?
The Room.
The
No,
Room
no.
with Tommy Wiseau. You ever seen that?
No. Let's
I
think of
did not
this.
hit her. I did not.
Imagine a terrible Indiana Jones movie.
Imagine a terrible Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I can see it
It's
like
like-
that.
There was one. It's called The Crystal Skull.
Oh shit!
Suck
All right.
dick.
Oh
Shia
damn!
LaBeouf.
Damn! Slap me with that one. Fuck. All right, you had a good point. Right?
Movie sucks.
That poor
You know why?
little
You know
snap
what's
was-
directed by M. Night Shyamalan. So of course he had aliens at the end. It's the fucking spoiler.
No, but yeah. Point is, it's a good bad movie, and
Okay.
that always watch. If you ever do watch it, Watch it knowing that movie made Sean Connery retire.
I'm just gonna get super baked and watch it. I'm gonna fucking think
That's
it's a masterpiece.
That's a good one to dude. That's a good one to get baked to.
It's just a weird.
The reason,
movie.
again, remember that made him retire, and he also did that movie because he turned down The Matrix when it first came out,
Sean Connery was supposed to be in The Matrix.
and he turned down
More
Lord of
for
the Rings.
his Neo.
No, you know what he was supposed to be? Do you remember the second movie?
Both.
Yeah, he was supposed to be Morphish.
Morphish.
Morphish. He was supposed to be Morphish.
I'm Morphish.
I'm Morpheus.
But then they had Lawrence Fishburne, so that was Morpheus. They didn't want to offend him.
Morpheus.
Morphish.
He was supposed to be the white guy in that room at the second movie.
Okay.
Remember the smart, stupid, like when Neo got to the room and he was like,
Absolutely fucking.
all right. Well, in the second movie, I don't remember the details. He went into a room. There was a guy dressed in white, had white hair, TV screens all over the place. Son of
It's supposed to be
Revelation.
Sean Connery.
Oh, that wasn't the Sean Connery.
That wasn't Sean Connery, but that's the role I think I remember
Now
hearing
that
he
I
was
think
supposed
about it.
So it's just a white dude in a white room
Yeah.
dressed in white.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be Sean Connery.
So he would look like Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, I guess.
Now I'm picturing Sean
That
Connery as
slaps
Colonel
women in
Sanders.
his prime. Shall we shag now or
Talking
shag?
fried
Wait, that's also.
Carry up street.
But no,
$5
so-
Phillip.
So again, he. Oh, I didn't even
All
hear what the fuck
fiction.
you guys said.
Oh man.
So he
Sean
turned down
Connery
that
is Colonel
role and he
Sanders.
turned down Lord of the Rings.
It's crispy.
Wait, Sean Connery's supposed to be in Lord of the Rings.
I was trying to say it like 5 minutes ago. You guys
Hold on,
shut
who's
the
he supposed
fuck
to
up.
play?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, what the fuck? Dude?
You
What do you
guys
play
are
Gollum?
Oh,
My precious.
I'm just letting you
I'll
guys
be
talk.
scared of Sean Connery as Golem, bro.
Started from us. And we
You
wrote
guys are
some.
fucking dumb. Whatever. You guys are dumb. I hate you all.
Oh man.
But yes, God, I felt like.
Hey, you brought it up.
Man, I felt like a two-second subject ended up being like 5 minutes because you guys wouldn't stop
Give me-
laughing.
And my ox.
Yes, that movie made him retire
Counts as one.
because he turned down those two. Oh, fuck y'all.
Sorry, man.
Saturday Night Live ruined Sean Connery for me when they do Celebrity Jeopardy.
Oh my god. You ever seen those?
Christopher, no, I love Christopher Walken.
yeah.
I fucking
but
love
you-
Christopher
dude,
Walken
Have you
Saturday Night
seen the Sean Connery ones?
No.
Dude, they're fucking
Hey,
hilarious.
did you ever
Oh
see?
my- after the podcast, we'll show you them.
Did you ever see when? What the fuck is the dude's name from Foo Fighters? Dave Grohl, the lead singer.
I know what he looks like. I just don't know his name.
Is it Dave Grohl? Something like that. Whoever the lead singer of the Foo Fighters is, they were the musical guest on SNL one time, and Sean Connery was the celebrity host.
That's the
And
shit.
he comes up to the Foo Fighters, and he's like, "So when I introduce you, is the emphasis on Foo or Fighters?" And Dave Grohl was like, knowing the way that he talks, I told him that the emphasis was on, I think he said Foo. So he's like, so when when Christopher Walken brought him out, he's like, I think he said Fighters. He's like, Foo Fighters.
Oh yeah, the Foo Fighters.
Yeah,
Foo
it says-
Fighters.
The Foo
It says
Fighters.
it's Dave Grohl.
Dave
You're
Grohl,
right.
yeah.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, fucking
The
Christopher.
Foo Fighters.
Best Christopher
Hold on.
Walken scene in
Yeah,
cinematic history, though, is Pulp Fiction.
Fiction.
I hit it up my ass.
Oh shit! You
My
know
ass.
what? I didn't know he was in that movie, and I saw that movie
I hit
once.
it my
It's been a
ass.
while. I don't. We had this. I had this discussion. Hold
15-minute
on,
dialogue of how did you not know he's in the movie?
hold
A
on,
long scene.
bro. I saw it once. I
Oh,
did not like the
fair
movie, so I did not care to
What?
keep. Okay, hold
You
on.
don't like
Let-
Pulp
hold on.
Fiction?
Let me discuss this now, since we suddenly segued into
This
Quentin
podcast.
Tarantino. I literally have this week. They're making fun of me at work because I'm not a fan of Quentin Tarantino.
Oh my god.
Shut the fuck up. Let me tell you why. I am a simple-minded cinema individual who likes action. Hey, just listen to my categories. I've met a person who loved every single movie I thought was terrible, and he thought these were great. I was like, oh shit. He was like, you are a connoisseur of trash. But I felt bad because I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna like cinema shame his shit. If he likes this type of movie, he likes the movie. So I'm just not a fan of his work. I do acknowledge he's a great director and makes good movies that are not my cup of tea. So if I don't like
That's fair.
Dr. Pepper, it's not to say it's not a good soda.
Why do you
it's just
point to me? Because Dr. Pepper's brown?
Because your sweatshirt, your sweatshirt is the color of the can.
Yeah, right.
apparently, dude. I was.
Because I don't like Dr. Pepper.
You know
That's
what?
code word for I don't like Dara.
You know what I did? I was looking at the window and I pointed at Darren.
Dr. Pepper red.
Anyways, asshole.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the soda. I mean, like the
Yeah.
actual. Like,
No, I know.
But yeah.
Oh, and I'm. Oh, yeah.
You're wearing
technically-
the exact
I am
colors
Dr.
of like Dr. Pepper. So
That's why I
anyway,
said, did you go in
Yeah.
the store and you were like, let me get a hoodie and Dr. Pepper
Yeah.
red?
point is, I've been being made fun of this whole week because it's like, oh, this guy doesn't like dialogue. Watch out! And I was playing a game. They're like, oh, is there a lot of action in it? because I know you love those. It's like, you don't like those story games, you know, like Quentin Tarantino film. This whole week I've been getting little jabs and like, oh, watch out, Christian might get bored.
Do you like Inglourious Bastards? Because that's kind of like Tarantino, but not really. It doesn't feel like
I did not enjoy it. I went to the theaters. I went
super gory.
I went to see it, and I wanted to be excited for it, and I was like, all right, everyone's saying this was shit. I saw it. Me and my brother saw it at the same time.
Django?
Didn't like it. That's the only one I liked.
That's like the goriest fucking shit besides Rambo. I just bought Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No, I know.
When it came out. My dad got it. I can borrow it to you if you want. When he gives it back to me, I'll let you get it. It's such a good movie.
Like I said, I'm not a fan of Quentin Tarantino. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not acknowledging that I'm not saying he's terrible just because I don't like it. I hate it when people go like, oh, dude, that's just trash. Just because I don't like it, that doesn't make it trash.
I feel like Tarantino, like, his movies are, like...
He's a unique director.
He's almost like a culture.
Yep.
And you either really, like, you're really, like, immersed and you love Quentin Tarantino, or you're just not a fan. I've never met a person that's like, his movies are okay.
Is there a movie by Quentin Tarantino you don't like, or you just like that isn't like?
No, I've met some people who are fans that said this is my least favorite Tarantino film.
Yeah.
They said Reservoir Dogs. I said Reservoir Dogs was okay for what?
Reservoir Dogs.
Jackie Brown.
He did that.
I haven't seen the whole movie, but Jackie Brown probably. I tried to watch it and got about halfway, and I'm like, and turned it off and never went back to it. Dude, did you hear he said Volume 3 might be coming out? That it's
Kill Bill?
Yes, they're thinking about making a Volume 3.
That is the thing is, I'm an example of I'm the opposite. There's not a film I don't like about him. There's a film series I do like.
Well, there's a lot of people like
Kill Bill.
The people that I know that
Kill
aren't.
Bill? Oh, go ahead.
Well, the people that I've met that are not huge Tarantino fans. They always say they're like, I'm not a big Tarantino fan, but I like Kill Bill.
Yeah. See, that's funny because the majority of people don't like Kill Bill.
It's a weird one because I
feel like you don't like Kill Bill.
It's alright. No, I like Kill Bill.
I like Volume 1. Volume 2. Volume 1 was really good.
I think Volume 1 I felt was better. Volume 2 just ended the story that I cared about in Volume 1.
Yes, Volume 1 did a really good job of establishing the story and get you invested in these characters. Volume 2 kind of just like continued the story.
You know what? It was like it right now. I thought the second one. Okay, the first one was good because I was like, it's a reboot, so I thought it was good. But it built. I thought it was really good as a movie and less as a scary movie. But I thought it was good overall as a movie. Excited for the second one. Second one didn't make me feel the same way I felt for the first one as far as how good it was. Not to say it was a bad movie. It just ended the series. I thought they might be making another one. It ended the story it told in the first one that I liked a lot. So I think that's what Kill Bill did for the same thing for me. Kill Bill 1. It built the characters. It made me super invested. Kill Bill 2, less invested, but it's not a bad movie. It was just, it ended the story.
Yeah.
Was Kill Bill 1 the one where she was like, move your toe?
Yep.
Okay, that was my favorite
Second one, I was
cool.
claustrophobic, and now that I think about it, when she was in that box, but I remember seeing an entire movie with Ryan Reynolds in a fucking box.
Dude, my heart was racing when she was in that. That's my worst fear. Drowning
I was
and
watching that
being
sober.
stuck in tight places.
Bro.
Like those movies where they go in the caves and shit.
I appreciate people.
Have you ever seen 127 Hours?
No, I would not watch that
movie.
Have you guys ever seen Phone Booth? That was way before. That was with Colin Farrell, and he was stuck in a...
You trapped, but you see everyone living outside, like, oh, help me.
Let me tell you how that was interesting. He had to be on the phone. He was just being normal, like New York.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
A sniper rifle was pointed at him, and he couldn't leave. So he just answered the phone. I was like, "What the fuck?"
And people were like knocking on the door, like, "Get the
the problem. Yeah, somebody like showed up there, like, and the entire movie is filmed in that phone booth, and he's trapped there.
That's interesting.
I thought it was interesting too. I don't know why I saw it, but I was like,
there's another movie that I forget what it's called, and I haven't seen parts of it because it was so boring. Like that filming the entire movie in a phone booth is kind of cool, but there's another movie where the dude's just driving the entire time.
Oh, Speed?
On the phone.
No. I feel like
he's
might be
driving
driving
the entire time.
Yeah, you know what? I remember that was pretty interesting because people were mad.
Boring.
No. It was interesting because people were mad about that movie. The trailers made it seem like it was gonna be an action, when that's exactly the opposite. Yeah, so people went to that shit with a different expectation. I heard, what is it? The new one? It was like not Drive. It was like a racing movie. Go Baby Go.
Baby Driver.
There you go, Baby Driver or something. Yeah, what the fuck, Go Baby Go. Yeah, Baby Driver. I heard that one was like, I want to see that because of how unique, and I heard it was good. It's
one of those movies.
Is it the one where he puts the headphones in and like he listens to music while he drives? I haven't seen it.
Man, I've seen real people do that shit in real life. I was like, oh
I do that.
That's
I do that
illegal,
too.
bro.
It's illegal as fuck. I don't
You can get a fat ass ticket.
I do that all the
Don't
time.
want to talk about tickets. That shit is terrible.
For no seatbelt, it's only $10. So
Click it or take it.
click it or ticket. You get
$10,
$10.
but I'll take it, bro.
Because I didn't
$15.
renew my registration. Like, it was like 5 years ago. I was like a little bit late.
I'm sorry. No, it was fine. I was just this
And
is bugging me.
he pulled me over. He was like, "Oh, it's gonna be $80, whatever, for that." And I was like, "All right." I got the ticket. It was 90.
Oh.
And I was like, "Why is it 90?" He was like, "Don't have a seatbelt." And he grabbed it and went like this.
Jamie
You
Foxx is in
motherfucker.
Baby Driver?
Was he?
Yeah.
Edgar Wright, I think, is the main character, though.
Like I said, it was an up and coming actor that I just haven't kept up with, so I don't know his
Mhm.
shit, which is pretty good because apparently Robert Pattinson, who again, last thing I remembered him was Twilight, and I didn't want to judge him based on that because it was a while ago. See, because of that shit. Like I said, I didn't want to think that Batman is old, this fucking glittered ass.
Right?
I was like, his glitter
Still
ass.
have glitter on
fucking-
the suit. Like,
He was
come
like,
on,
"Oh, I'm sorry, I'm the Batman stripper."
What if he really pulls out the end of the movie, like, to blind the enemy? He's like, oh.
Yeah, right.
Don't make me
Just
take
all
this shit.
crystallized and shit.
Yeah, right.
Ah!
Dude, you know what's funny? I remember when Robert
like
Pattinson was
diamond
making
suit.
fun of Twilight. He's like, "Dude, this guy's like 100 or 200 years old. Why the fuck is he still in high school?" And he's playing the characters
Yeah,
like
I
he's
wanna be
like,
in high
he's
school.
like, "That's the stupidest thing ever." I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, just don't go to school.
Not only that, it's like, dude, if you went to the high school, did he go to the same high school every fucking year?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like,
So they're not gonna fucking
you
recognize
only
it, bro.
have, you
You
only
need
have
to
a
pass. Like, you're 38 years old.
Because that's kind of like
And he said this during an interview promoting the movie. Oh no, he said after the movie.
he's
was
old
done.
as fucking high school. That's kind of like
It's weird.
pedophile. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
As a movie, it's interesting. When it was originally a book, it was fascinating because it was like one of those novels that are like romantic.
Only Snoop Dogg can pull off staying in high school for
Hell
20
yeah,
years.
Bro. Mac and,
one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Mac and Devin go to high
Dude,
school.
I heard. What's
Fuck.
what's his name? Wiz Khalifa? Did he
Yeah,
do a
Wiz
movie?
Khalifa.
No,
That's Mac and Devin go to high school.
I didn't. I keep seeing him like on Netflix or somewhere, and I'm like, I refuse to click on
Dude,
this.
watch it.
Snoop Dogg is apparently in a
A good bad movie.
no. A good bad game. I don't know if it's a bad game. It's a sports game, and I thought that was weird because it was NHL.
Oh my god.
Dude, on real shit, I'm not kidding. EA just showed a trailer. It was like NHL 2020 Snoop Dogg trailer. I was like, what?
God.
Snoop Dogg is legitimately a player in the NHL game.
Dog.
I don't-
I'll roast anybody with Snoop Dogg.
Oh, yeah, bro. That's all I play is Snoop Dogg. I play
didn't
no one.
know.
I don't know anyone else. Man, get the fuck out of here.
I was like,
Play
dude,
Snoop
I
Dogg.
hope as DLC they have Snoop Lion.
Oh my god.
Please give me
That'd
Snoop
be
Lion.
hilarious.
Bro, I
Seems like
couldn't.
they got
I
different
watched.
stats and shit.
I looked. I was like, I didn't click on the video, but I was like, dude, that's officially from IGN. Like one of the shit that shows trailers. Like that's not a fake.
No, it's not.
That
I
was,
was
a
like-
really dark time for Snoop Dogg fans. Snoop Lion.
Snoop
that was
Lion, bro.
nobody
Yeah, that was
really
a
talks
good
about
what
that.
what was he doing? Reggae music?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, you know what? He's been in the game so long. I can't blame him for
This person's
diversifying.
bored. He's
Somebody,
fuck, bro. All he does,
I
he's
heard
so
we-
rich. All he can do is get high all day and do
Yeah.
nothing.
like I said,
Bro,
didn't I
so
mention
fucking
doing
bored.
that?
What's it called?
nonstop
Like,
is
I
no
think he
longer
was trying to
fun.
be he was being like inducted into a Rastafarian or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And they were
During
like in
that
this
time, he
tent.
became Snoop Lion.
Yeah.
Bro, I think he went like through a Dave
think they got
Chappelle type
super
thing
high in, like,
where
a
he
tent.
just kind of I don't know, something happened where it's like we don't understand rich people problems, and when I see rich people do stupid shit like, or not stupid, but they just did something different, it makes me think they are just like us. They just got rich people problems. Don't make them better, they may be more expensive problems, but I'm like, if you're never worried about like, am I gonna pay rent this month? If you're never worried about that, what are you worried about?
Yeah.
Like,
We
okay,
don't
I'm
know
not
that
worried
type of
about
shit.
them. All my 6 cars.
Well,
I gotta pay for insurance
it's
on
that,
them.
and
But-
look at like you look at yourself in your own life and how many phases you go through as a person. It's just
Exactly.
not
True.
publicized.
My
Not
24s,
everybody knows it.
my 24s are not like my 26s. My
Yeah.
Yeah.
my 23s
But-
are not like my 25s.
But the
It's just-
thing is like outside of like your family and like your social circle, the world doesn't know that. But when the world knows it, like we
Yeah.
see Snoop Dogg,
That's
nobody
why-
sees you through your phases.
if I was
Yeah.
famous, I would have like just for some stupid reason I'm famous, but everyone all the stupid shit I've done through my last like 5 years. They're like, oh, do you remember that phase where he did that shit? Oh my god, I'm like,
Where
I
he's
was-
a
or
furry.
even like when you look back,
I'm
or
joking.
like even
No,
like
you know
when
what's funny? At my job, they do that same joke too. That's why I fucking hate it. I was getting it literally off work and on work
even
hours.
like when you look back at pictures and you're like, what the fuck was I wearing?
Yeah, exactly.
Miley Cyrus, like that when
Like
she was
I'm
like,
sure that when
"Oh,
I'm
it
Dude,
was
in high
just a
school, I used to
phase."
wear like fucking decorated pants, like colorful pants, bro. I was like, what the fuck was I?
Okay,
Dude, I was like a
you know,
fucking
and I had-
bomb in high school. I like look at a picture. I'm like wearing
Whatever,
like a
you were a
long ass,
jock.
extra long like
That's why you were a fucking jock. It was okay. You didn't have to wear shit.
Dude, it was
and
stupid.
you were
No,
popular.
No,
Just shut
I
up.
was not.
Let me take it from the perspective of a guy who was definitely not like a jock, but I was like, all right, I'm not hated. So
Yeah, but
I'm in the middle. But
even if you are in a class, so to say,
Yeah.
we all still have those thoughts in our head, you know?
That's
like,
true.
as
Like I
you
said,
grow up, you're like, what the
you didn't
fuck?
realize that you were all the same in high school until you
Dude.
left high school and you realized.
That's why I wish
damn.
I had the knowledge I have now and
Yes.
went back.
You know
because
what's funny?
I would
How many times
apply
people
myself in
thought
so
that?
many different ways.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Everybody
people 30
thinks
years
that.
ago probably thought the same thing
Everybody
we're
thinks
thinking
that.
right now
Everyone, yeah.
at the same age.
That's like,
Well,
you
it's
know, your
fine,
parents
man.
tell you about, like, when you go to high school and they're
Now I'm
like,
thinking about my
and they're trying to
teachers.
tell you shit and you're a kid and you don't want to hear it and then
You're
you
just
graduate and you're like, oh, fuck. Like, a couple years pass. Like, I remember, well, I mean, I'm 27, like, later,
Fucking
like,
relic.
this week.
Might
But
as well give up.
it's like, you know,
I'm kidding.
like, you look back and it was like at like 25,
Oh,
I look back and I was like, damn, like I should have done this in high school. I should have, and it was everything that my parents told me
Yep.
I should have done. And it's like you see that, like people can
Yeah.
tell you and drill it into your head.
Yep,
but you're a kid,
it won't
you,
matter.
You know
You
everything.
need to have the experience.
Like,
Dude,
yourself.
I have
at the end of the
a
day.
young girlfriend. So me telling the reason I know it's
She's
kind of
15.
Hey, like that.
shut the fuck.
I like how you
She's-
said that.
She's 15 years old.
Hey, that's an accurate description. She is younger than me. So
mean,
just saying technically
She
she's
is
young.
of legal age, people.
Yeah,
That's
let's just
okay.
clear
All
this
right.
up. Let's
Now
not-
that sounds
I thought-
now that makes me sound
I think
questionable.
she goes,
You
There.
sounded questionable when you said
No,
it.
she's okay. What if she was like 1 year younger than me?
You
Y'all the
technically
same
would
age.
say
No.
younger.
No, y'all the same. Like I.
Okay,
I tell
I'm just saying.
people-
I'm on a technicality. Younger could have meant a lot of things, but you guys have fucking clearly shown that. All right, it means a little bit more than a year. You fucking assholes.
Go ahead.
Point is, she's younger, so it's not to say that I am better. I am just at a different place than she was. I've maybe gone through that level already,
Mhm.
and it's not to say that they have less rights than me. It's just by the time I was their age, I knew certain things, but give it 2 more years past the age
Mhm.
they're at, I knew a whole lot more, and it could have been either through a good experience or a bad experience. The point is that experience part,
Mhm.
and I've either learned to adapt better from that shit,
Yeah.
or I already knew that struggle sucks, and so I'm still struggling with it.
Well, I'll give you like so women do mature faster than men do usually.
Oh yeah.
But do you guys remember? Well, edit this out.
Mhm.
She was like the most like
Hold on.
mature like
Yeah.
out of most of us. Like I don't know
Real.
why. Like I
She-
know.
it felt like she was like in her mid-20s.
Yeah,
we were all in high
like
school.
she would be talking to me. I'm
There's-
like, damn, okay. Like you seem
Yeah,
like you're in
you know
college already.
Like going into we're going into a whole new decade now, and so like lately I've been looking back. I'm like, okay, like where I was at 2009, 2010, where I am now, and I'm like, dog. Like I was thinking about like our friend group and stuff, and I'm like, dude, like 2030,
Sorry
we're all
about
gonna
that.
be like 37
You
years
see my
old. Like how
Mhm.
different our lives are gonna be. This like is crazy.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm like, damn, shit is exciting though
Yeah.
to see like where we're all at. Like,
I mean, me and my
These are-
friends back in the day, we used to have like conversations just like this, like on the
Mhm.
porch. We were like, man, it's crazy that we're in high school right now. Like,
2020 will be almost 30.
Yeah.
you know what? You know what I loved? I remember those days where I was like, man, I can't wait to be older and I could just like
Fuck
do
that.
whatever I
Fuck that! I wish I
No,
never.
no. See,
bro.
oh, shut up. You know what I realized? Everybody is the same. I'm trying to remember somebody I knew of about at least 10 years ago that I still somewhat keep consistently, and I'm trying to remember a certain time they were telling me something that sounds a lot like what I'm saying now
Mhm.
when I was their age telling me this.
And that's what I was saying
That
about your
just-
parents when you were in high school. Now
That's what
you
makes me
see
laugh.
it. It's
Everyone
like if I
does
had
the
a
same
kid,
journey.
I'd sound just like I remember
Hoop
when
stank
I had,
sound coming in.
when I had when
My head, hoop stank.
I remember
Same
my
thing. Same
my
direction.
ex girl like having her son, and he was mad little. He was only like 4 or 5, but I remember he'd do things around the house, and I'd have to like discipline him, and I'm like, I'd have to turn around and leave the room, and I'd look at her. She's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I sound just like my pop when I was 6 years old." I'm like, now I get it. Like now I understand why they were so
Dude,
adamant about certain things. I'm like,
I had that epiphany. I had that epiphany as well. I was with my brother, and I don't know. Me and my brother have gotten closer within the last 5 years, but we didn't. When he was in his teens, we're 5 years different. So growing up, we just weren't. We
he
weren't
was
always on the
always
same
a little,
page. Yeah.
The age
So
difference
say when
was
he
just
started,
enough.
yeah. So say when he was a senior or a freshman in high school, he was dealing with freshman high school problems, and I was still in elementary.
Yeah,
I don't know
you
what
were in,
grade.
like,
I was
5th
not in high
grade.
school. So my shit, whatever
Yeah.
the age was 14. So it was like what 5, 9.
That's eighth grade.
Eighth grade.
Yeah.
Either way, it was enough
Because
that it was a
15 is
different. It
freshman
was a
year.
different atmosphere. We were both on different
You were
planets.
just always on different levels.
Yeah, so now I remember. Now we're both at the part where we're adults, and it doesn't matter it blows my mind how much 7th grade is compared to like what is it 10th grade,
Like a sophomore in high school.
Yeah, I was like, that's
huge
10th
difference
grade.
though.
There's a huge difference. So I was like, damn, it
Yeah.
stops changing when each year feels actually different. And now, do you remember last year I had the Halloween party? I was drunk as fuck. And you can say that about 2 years ago. Now we can say that about 3 years ago. Where I'm at this point, every year is expected that you don't have those yearly changes.
And that's what I was getting at. Like, I kind of I didn't finish my thought then.
Sorry,
but when you
sorry,
said that
sorry.
about your girlfriend being younger,
Oh,
like,
God.
but I was gonna say like once you hit a certain age, like if I'm 28 and just say I was like with a girl that was like 23, it's like, or maybe not 23. That's still literally like 25. I'm like, you're the same age. Because you're both just adults.
It's like
not
within
like
a
you're
radius.
18 and 15. That's a
Yeah.
huge difference. But 28 and 25, it's like, we're just adults.
Man.
Dude, I got
Just
told an
working,
uncomfortable
just-
number by a coworker at work because he's. I'm not gonna mention names, but point. It was just.
mention numbers though.
I'm not gonna mention numbers because it's making me uncomfortable.
We all want to
Questionable
feel
numbers?
uncomfortable.
But
I think
he
we need to know the
He
numbers.
Yeah, I
himself
wanna
is
know.
a baby. It's just like
Okay.
put. It's like a 4-year, maybe. Hold on, let me see.
So how's that
This
questionable?
number,
Oh,
because
within
their
that age.
actual number
putting it
is
into
a
Oh, so he's
little-
19 and she's 6 or 15.
Oh shit! I'm fucking gave it away.
Yeah, it's obvious because
All right.
you just said he's a baby. So
All
I was
right,
like,
all right,
what's
all
the
right, all right.
underage
Okay,
question?
well,
Yeah.
wow. I went around the bush
So
just to
he's
show you where the
19.
bush
I ain't
was.
dumb. I just act like a.
Okay, so yeah. Oh,
So he's
man.
19, she's 15.
Yes.
That's fucked up.
But no, hold on.
Nah,
Just
this
no.
man's
Let
in
me.
college talking
let me
to
ex-
a freshman, bro.
I understand that. That's why I said I was like, dude, it's tricky. But if you just take the logic of that age gap, I think my dad and my mom are about maybe 5 years difference.
Yeah, when did they meet though?
Around the same time.
I don't want.
No, it's alright.
You're, it's fine.
I think it was.
Because
I think it was.
You have to remember back in the day, like
Yeah, I
people
said,
did
there-
get
it
they
was not the
dated
same.
younger.
Like
You
I
got
said,
married young.
Yeah.
This is gonna get real deep, but like the experiences we had at 19 were different for my dad when he
Yeah.
was 19.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's different enough that just like how we got to work, the cars were built differently,
look official.
but the problems were still the same in a different different
And it's not like your
atmosphere.
dad went around like with other.
Like
other
what if my dad
people,
was
you
trying
know?
to bang everything when he was like
That's what I'm
16?
saying, yeah.
But like he was he had not
He stayed with
he had
her.
not met my mom yet. His point of the story before he met the woman he stayed with forever was like a typical ass guy who was 19 just at that time. So us,
Well, it's even like
we just got iPods now.
Yeah.
Back then they had cassette players that had
Well,
a fat ass disc and just like
it's like
no
well, all of
noise
us
cancellation.
all of us are in this, but like, this one for myself, like my family's like, oh, when you finna get married and when are you gonna like
that
have
sucks.
kids? And I'm like my grandparents say stuff to me.
Nah, it's
Okay, that feels weird. But
He put on the
like
headphones.
my grandparents will say stuff to me, and they're like, oh, when are you gonna have a family? And I'm like, because back then you were 21, you were established, you were married, and you were starting to have kids. Now it's like people aren't getting married and having kids
Yeah.
until they're like 30.
Because the cost of living is getting
it's just
worse.
different.
and
It's a different
Like I
time.
Like I said, remember a
All
couple
these
podcasts
solutions.
back, we were like, what's it like in 100 years? We thought we might.
Oh,
be able to,
yeah, like AI and shit.
Yeah, like AI and
Yeah.
shit. That's why I don't. Again, based on how our past has been within 100 years, that's why I believe our future. Not to say that's not a possibility, because there's always the exception to what I thought. It's just that, based on our track record and what's on the resume of humanity, I don't think we'll get to AI just yet. But, like I said, people are always going through the same route. Just different things are around the world. So, say 100 years ago, we made oil with... I'm just going to say something stupid. Baby oil. So, just say now we use gasoline. It's super efficient.
Yeah.
But, like, it's still kind of like we're just going to change a little... Like, do the same thing, but find an efficient way. So that's what I think, based on our trajectory, we might not get to AI in 100 years.
I just think that
maybe
the
more.
trajectory with AI and just everything, society in
that was
general,
that
I think
subject,
that we
yeah.
have so much more like tools accessible to us now that we didn't have, that we can
Yeah, we've made
like,
things easier.
we can make that advancement period so much easier and so much faster with
The
what we have
pyramids,
accessible.
So now we can, like, make machines make
So
that shit super.
that's
Everyone
why
can
I
3D
think-
print at home now.
That's why I think like 200 years ago it was 1820. You look at what they had and where they went from 1820 to 1920.
I don't know.
It really was. They went far, but not crazy. But they had just come out with a car. Now you look at 1920 to 2020.
Yeah.
Look at how far we've come because of the stuff that
Cybertruck.
But think about like all
The
like
windshield wiper
So
was just your
I
hand.
think that 200 years ago is like 100 years now.
yeah, it's like
We
Right?
can accelerate the
You know what?
process.
The way my theory might be wrong is say this: the way we went from 100 years to 100 years ago from where we are now, it seems like we just enhanced a little bit of what we already had, but based on what we got now, we can technically multiply in 100 years. So we can double the effort.
That's what I'm saying.
So as I said, I'm thinking of a different perspective. That might make it where maybe my AI thing. What if we fucking saw that shit in like just 35? Say 35 years,
I
we
think it's
accidentally
possible.
made AI. Accidentally.
Yeah.
Some things don't happen until on purpose.
Yeah, because think about all the social media we have. Like, all right, basically, like our human nature is tribal at heart.
Oh,
And
yeah,
now that we have like, you can get information from all over. Like,
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time.
Now we just enhanced what we could do with fire.
Yeah.
Cavemen just made
Exactly.
fire. They just
Yeah.
made fire last year, and in about 30 years, now we make fire like nothing. But now we're trying to make clay.
So like, think about
Well, I mean, we make
ground,
we make
bro.
pottery. Sorry, say like
Oh, I
pottery.
got
Say
you.
pottery, and like
Yeah.
now we already know how to make fire. So now we're just using
Yeah.
fire as a tool.
all somebody has to do is sit back at home. Like, you know how you were talking about your story and stuff? Like, somebody could be at home with all this money, take your story right now if you put that online,
Right.
and just turn it in and flip it.
You know what
And
sucks?
we were just sitting here chilling, you know?
How many people have made the story? It's like, dude, I had that idea like 4 years ago. I wrote it on a napkin.
Yeah, and it was just that person that has your story, and they, you know what I mean?
That's what I said. Like, dude,
Everyone's thoughts is just spewing into this pit. All it takes is like
alright,
advertising.
Based
to
on
people.
story, I thought of a couple ideas before. You're gonna make fun of me in a minute. Before these animes had those like official ideas. I watch anime, so I'm like, oh man, if I made my own anime or made my own story, it would be like this. A few years later, I see the idea I thought of in a professional production. I'm like, damn.
They
it.
say
Right?
me
I
and
mean,
a
it's not like they stole from me, but I was like,
me and a coworker were just talking about this week, kind of to expand on what you were saying, is that they say that like today, like in today's day and age,
Yeah.
nobody has any 100% purely original thought.
Yes.
Every one of our thoughts that
it's kind of like
filters through our mind
it's like
all
Inception.
day, every day, is descendant from something that we saw or heard
Yep.
or experienced
Oh,
or saw
God.
somebody else
Yep.
do. Like
first
it's
person
all-
video games.
yeah,
or
nothing is an original thought.
Yeah,
That's scary to think that
Jackie Chan movies.
You're
They were
built
based
up
on
by
like
just
other
your
action movies
experience.
from
You
other
think,
stars
like,
before that.
that
Yeah.
your thoughts are
A genuine.
whatever,
Yeah,
but
right.
it's like
It's
but
tough.
it's like damn, like we're influenced by everything.
Yeah.
To have no original thoughts, that's fucking wild. Then you think of like like not original people, but people way back when like that did have original thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But that's weird, like to completely think of
Shakespeare.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Like,
everything's
to
like,
completely
you
think
can
of
tell he
something.
studied Shakespeare. I was like, but what happened when
Like-
Shakespeare who did it?
Like not Albert Einstein, but the very first person to come up with the concept for artificial lighting.
Yeah.
Like to be
Or
the
just
very
to
first
fly a
person to
plane.
think of that. Like
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Like some dude was just sitting in a tree, like, I'm about to fall.
Stop telling me to do things. I don't like this. But all right, thank you guys for listening so far. If you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't, and tell your friends if this thing is if it entertained you a little bit, even if it was stupid. Hit the like button. That helps out a lot. So we'll catch you guys later on the next episode of Dirty Mike and the Boys. Baby, we're out.